This TV show Manifest is about Montego Air Flight 828 from Jamaica to New York City experiences a brief period of severe turbulence. When they land at Stewart International Airport in Newburgh, New York, the 191 passengers and crew learn from NSA Director Robert Vance that over 5.5 years have passed while they were in the air, during which time they were presumed dead. As they reintegrate themselves into present-day society, the passengers begin to face the fact that their lives and loved ones are not the same as they were before, while they also begin to experience guiding voices and visions representing events yet to occur, referred to as callings. This TV show Star Wars, The Bad Batch is about Clone Force 99, also known as the Bad Batch, a group of elite clone troopers with genetic mutations that were first introduced in Star Wars. The Clone Wars take on daring mercenary missions in the aftermath of the Clone Wars. This TV show Kung Fu is about set in the present day. The series follows a young Chinese-American woman whose personal issues force her to leave college and make a life-changing journey to an isolated monastery in China. Upon her return to America 3 years later, she starts using her martial arts skills and Shaolin values to protect her community when her hometown of San Francisco is plagued by ongoing crime and corruption, especially those being threatened by the Triad, all while dealing with her estranged family and searching for the assassin who killed her Shaolin mentor and is now targeting her. This version is a reimagining, rather than a reboot, of the 1972 television series starring David Carradine as Kwai Chang Caine, the fugitive monk traveling the American Old West. This TV show The Handmaid's Tale is about in a world where fertility rates have collapsed as a result of sexually transmitted diseases and environmental pollution. 11 The totalitarian, theonomic government of Gilead establishes rule in the former United States in the aftermath of a civil war. 12 13 14 Society is organized by power-hungry leaders along with a new, militarized, hierarchical regime of religious fanaticism and newly created social classes, in which women are brutally subjugated. By law, women in Gilead are forced to work in very limited roles, including some as natal slaves, and they are not allowed to own property, have careers, handle money, or read. 14 World infertility has led to the enslavement of fertile women in Gilead, determined by the new regime to be fallen women, citing an extremist interpretation of the biblical account of Bilhah. These women often include those who have entered multiple marriages, termed adulteresses, single or unmarried mothers, lesbians, homosexuals being termed gender traitors, non-Christians, adherents of Christian denominations other than the Sons of Jacob, political dissidents, and academics. These women, called handmaids, are assigned to the homes of the ruling elite, where they must submit to ritualized rape, referred to as the ceremony, by their male masters, commanders, in the presence of their wives, to be impregnated and bear children for them. 14 Handmaids are given names created by the addition of the prefix of to the first name of the man who has them. When they are transferred, their names are changed. Along with the handmaids, much of society is now grouped into classes that dictate their freedoms and duties. Women are divided into a small range of social categories, each one signified by a plain dress in a specific color. Handmaids wear long red dresses, heavy brown boots and white coifs, with a larger white coif, known as wings, to be worn outside, concealing them from public view and restricting their vision. Marthas, who are housekeepers and cooks, named after the biblical figure, wear long, loose-fitting muted green garments and cover their hair with head wraps. The wives of commanders, who are expected to run their households beautifully, wear elegant, tailored dresses in blue and various shades of teal, cut in styles evoking the 1950s. They wear high heels, their hair is carefully coiffed and they wear gloves and hats when outdoors. 15 16 17 The widows of commanders, or else, widowed women belonging to the ruling class, wear the fashions of the wives, albeit in a combination of wives' blue and mourning black. Similarly, the mourning clothes of handmaids are their standard dress, albeit in black or black and red. Econo wives, the lower class women who still have minimal agency, wear shades of gray, a departure from the book in which econo wives wear clothing striped with red, green, and blue to represent their natal, domestic, and marital roles. Female prisoners are called unwomen and wearing rags, are worked to death clearing toxic waste in the colonies, parts of North America contaminated by pollution and radiation. Another class of women, ants, who wear brown, train, oversee and discipline the handmaids as well as organize particicutions, public executions involving the coerced participation of handmaids. They are the only class of women in Gilead permitted to read, albeit specifically to fulfill the administrative role of their caste. Jezebels, often former career professionals or academics, but also prostitutes, unwilling or unable to accept any role in Gilead, are forced into prostitution in secret brothels catering to the elite ruling class as an alternative punishment to being executed or sent to the colonies. They wear otherwise forbidden evening clothes, costumes, and lingerie from before. Among the men of Gilead other than the commanders, the eyes are secret police watching over the general populace for signs of rebellion, hunters track down people attempting to flee the country, guardians are responsible for civilian policing and economen are responsible for menial labor. Men, regardless of status or position, often wear black. June Osborne, renamed Offered, is the handmaid assigned to the home of the Gileadon commander Fred Waterford and his wife Serena Joy. The Waterfords, key players in the formation and rise of Gilead, struggle with the realities of the society they helped create. During the time before, June was married to Luke and had a daughter, Hannah. At the beginning of the story, while attempting to flee Gilead with her husband and daughter, June was captured and forced to become a handmaid because of the adultery she and her husband committed. June's daughter was taken and given to an upper-class family to raise, and her husband escaped into Canada. Much of the plot revolves around June's desire to be reunited with her husband and daughter. This TV show Superman and Lois is about Clark Kent/Superman and Lois Lane return to Smallville with their sons Jonathan and Jordan, where they are reacquainted with Lana Lang, her husband Kyle Cushing, and their daughter Sarah, but their idyllic lives are upended when the stranger enters. This TV show Raised by Wolves is about Raised by Wolves centers on two androids, father and mother, tasked with raising human children on Kepler 22b after the Earth was destroyed by a great war. As the burgeoning colony of humans threatens to be torn apart by religious differences, the androids learn that controlling the beliefs of humans is a treacherous and difficult task. This TV show The Good Doctor is about. The series follows Sean Murphy, a young autistic surgeon with savant syndrome from the mid-sized city of Casper, Wyoming, where he had a troubled past. He relocates to San Jose, California, to work at the prestigious San Jose St. Bonaventure Hospital. This TV show The Nevers is about. The Nevers is described as an epic science fiction drama about a gang of Victorians who find themselves with unusual abilities, relentless enemies, and a mission that might change the world. This TV show Lucifer is about. The series focuses on Lucifer Morningstar, Tom Ellis, a handsome and powerful angel who was cast out of heaven for his rebellion. As the devil, Lucifer, tired of the millennia he's spent being the Lord of Hell, punishing people. Becoming increasingly bored and unhappy with his life in hell, he abdicates his throne in defiance of his father, God, and abandons his kingdom for Los Angeles, where he runs his own nightclub called Lux. When he finds himself involved in a murder investigation, he meets the intriguing detective Chloe Decker, Lauren German. After helping the Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD, solve the case by using his power to manipulate humans into revealing their deepest desires, Lucifer accepts a subsequent invitation to work with Chloe as a consultant to the department, and throughout the series, they encounter all sorts of supernatural beings while solving crimes together and developing their relationship. This TV show Charmed 2018 is about. Originally set in the fictional college town of Hilltown, Michigan, the series begins with sisters Mel, Maloney Diaz, and Maggie Vera, Sarah Jeffrey, living with their mother Marisol, Valerie Cruz, who shortly afterward is attacked and killed by an unknown dark force. 3 months later, Mel and Maggie discover that they have an older half-sister, Macy Vaughn, Madeline Mantock, who was kept a secret by their mother for years but recently moved to Hilltown to accept a new job at the local university. After the first time the sisters are under the same roof, they unexpectedly start exhibiting new magical abilities. The eldest Macy receives the power of telekinesis, middle sister Mel can freeze time, and the youngest Maggie can hear people's thoughts. Soon afterward, their whitelighter and advisor who protects and guides witches Harry Greenwood, Rupert Evans, gathers all three sisters together and reveals to them that they are witches, as was their mother. Marisol had bound her daughters' powers when they were each born to protect them and let them live normal lives, but was in the process of unbinding their powers on the night she was murdered. 7 The sisters ultimately accept their new destiny as the Charmed Ones, the most powerful trio of good witches who protect innocent lives from demons and other dark forces. 8-9 The reboot changes several elements from the original Charmed series, including moving the fictional setting from San Francisco to Hilltown, making the middle sister a lesbian, giving the youngest sister the power of telepathy instead of premonition, changing the family name from Halliwell to Vera, and having all three of the sisters' alliterative names begin with M instead of P. 10-11. Additionally, the reboot has a more ethnically diverse cast. Mantock is Afro-Caribbean, Diaz is Puerto Rican, and Jeffrey is African American, English and Indigenous Canadian. 12-13 However, in the series they all play Latina sisters, with Mantock's Macy and Jeffrey's Maggie both being Afro-Latinas. This TV show Love, Death and Robots is about. The animated series consists of standalone episodes, all under 20 minutes long, and produced by different casts and crews, though some episodes may share certain crew members. The series title refers to each episode's thematic connection to the three aforementioned subjects, though not every episode contains all three elements. This TV show For All Mankind is about the first crewed mission to the moon during the space race in the late 1960s was a success for NASA and the United States. This drama poses the question, what if the space race had never ended? In an alternate timeline, a Soviet cosmonaut, Alexei Leonov, becomes the first human to land on the moon. This outcome devastates morale at NASA, but also catalyzes an American effort to catch up. With the Soviet Union emphasizing diversity by including a woman in subsequent landings, the United States is forced to match pace, training women and minorities who were largely excluded from the initial decades of U.S. space exploration. This TV show WandaVision is about 3 weeks after the events of Avengers, Endgame, 2019, Wanda Maximoff and Vision are living an idyllic suburban life in the town of Westview, New Jersey, trying to conceal their true natures. As their surroundings begin to move through different decades and they encounter various television tropes, the couple suspects that things are not as they seem.